Hey everyone, welcome back to Sip and Talk.
Hey!
This is the place where we try and make sense of all the noise out there.
And today is EP411.
411, wow.
I know, right? And today's topic actually comes from a longtime fan, Mickey. He reached out, kind of frustrated.
Oh yeah, what's bothering Mickey?
Well, he's dealing with elders in his family who are really into superstitions. And even though he doesn't buy into them, they keep forwarding him stuff.
The classic forward chain. What kind of stuff?
Things like, if you don't clean your house, you'll end up poor. That kind of thing.
Oh, the guilt trips?
Exactly. He feels like they're all super negative, almost like low-level fear tactics, you know? And he mentioned, his words, that a lot of this junk content seems to come from one particular country's online sphere.
Okay. Well, Mickey, that might be where you're seeing it most. Trust me, superstitions, they're everywhere. Every culture has them.
Absolutely global.
Right. So what we want to do today on Sip and Talk is take a broader look. Give Mickey and you listening maybe a more international view. Understand this stuff. Maybe find a way to deal with it without starting family arguments.
Yeah, let's try and find some relief. So the plan today is breaking down superstition, types and strategies.
All right, let's get into it. Okay, so this online junk content Mickey's talking about, the fear-based videos, the posts, they kind of feel like they have a formula, right? It's not just random warnings.
Oh, definitely not random. There's a playbook. Whether the creators know it consciously or not, they've figured out how to tap into specific psychological buttons. When you look at the stuff that gets mass-produced online, especially the ones focused on bad things happening if you don't do something, they pretty much fall into 5 main buckets.
Okay, 5 types. What's the first one? Probably the oldest trick in the book.
You got it. It's the cause and effect retribution type. Think karmic consequences. Yin Wao Bao Ying in Chinese culture. This is exactly Mickey's example. Say something bad, bad things happen to you. Or don't respect your parents, you'll get sick. And the big one, don't clean, you'll be poor.
Right. It takes all the messiness of life, why some people get sick, why economies fluctuate, and boils it down to you didn't sweep the floor properly.
Precisely. It's a massive oversimplification. Life is complicated, right?
Yeah.
Global economics, genetics, random chance. It's overwhelming. This type of superstition gives you a super simple explanation. It says, do this, avoid that, and you're safe.
So it gives you a feeling of control.
Exactly, an illusion of control. It's way less scary to think poverty is because you didn't dust rather than, facing huge systemic issues or just bad luck. Because I just cleaned my house, I can control my financial destiny. That feels manageable.
Okay, yeah, I get that appeal. What's the second type of online superstition?
Number 2 is the object power type. This shifts the anxiety away from your actions and onto things. Physical objects.
Like Lucky Charms.
Exactly. Wear this red string, it'll ward off evil. Or by this specific crystal, it attracts wealth. Or maybe, get this cast eye stone, it protects you from gossip at work.
So you take all that free-floating anxiety about bad luck or negative energy, and you attach it to a thing you can buy or wear.
Yeah, it's an anxiety transfer. We feel worried about vague, unknown risks, bad vibes, general misfortune. So we find a concrete thing, a bracelet, a stone, whatever, and we pour that anxiety into it. It gives your worry a focus.
Makes sense. If I lose the Lucky Charm, then I have a reason to be anxious, but at least I know why.
Right. It's like a little psychological anchor, often one you can conveniently buy online.
Okay, so cause, effect, object power. What's number 3? Sounds like it might involve calendars or dates.
Spot on. The timing fate type. This is all about specific times being good or bad. Don't go out today, it's an unlucky day. Or you absolutely cannot get a haircut on the first day of the lunar month. Or needing special prayers or rituals during certain years based on your zodiac sign.
Oh, like Fantai Sui, offending the Grand Duke.
Exactly like Fantai Sui. That's a really complex system tied to the Chinese zodiac and the 60-year cycle based on Jupiter's position. The idea is, in certain years, your zodiac sign clashes with the Grand Duke of that year.
And it's not just general bad luck, right? It's specific warnings.
Very specific. You might be warned about financial loss or accidents or arguments. And then you have specific rituals to appease the Grand Duke, wear certain colors, avoid traveling in certain directions, maybe buy specific protective amulets for that year.
So the mechanism there is creating really detailed rules and rituals.
Yeah, it creates safety rituals. Life's unpredictable, so these timing rules give you a structure, a schedule for being careful. Doing the ritual, avoiding the bad day, it provides a sense of managing the uncertainty, even if it's just symbolic. It gives you something concrete to do.
Okay, those first 3 feel pretty ancient. But Mickey mentioned online stuff specifically. What about the more digital age tactics.
Now we get to the really cynical ones. Number 4, the network algorithm type. This is pure digital manipulation designed for maximum clicks and shares.
Like those posts that say, share this in the next 5 minutes or bad luck will follow.
Precisely. Or, seeing this video right now means it's your destiny. Or the blatant, you must share this to receive good fortune. It's the chain letter on steroids, weaponized for social media algorithms.
How did that work, exploiting the algorithm?
It's multi-layered. First, urgency. Share now. That bypasses thinking. Second, they know that fear and high emotion get more engagement, more shares, more clicks, more ad revenue for them. They literally test which threats work best to make something go viral.
Wow.
And third, psychological suggestion. They imply the algorithm itself, TikTok, Facebook, whatever chose you, like fate delivered this message to your screen. It makes sharing feel like a personal, almost sacred duty.
Pretty manipulative, making the tech platform seem like a divine messenger. What's
Yeah.
the 5th and final type?
The last one is the moral coercion type. This often overlaps with cause-effect, but it specifically uses guilt, virtue, and social pressure. Like, forwarding this story about being a good child earns you merit for the afterlife. Or, the flip side. If you don't believe this warning, it shows you lack virtue, and you'll bring misfortune onto your family.
Oof. Weaponizing family duty and morality. Don't share this. You're a bad son daughter.
Exactly. It plays on deep cultural values and the fear of disappointing your family or community. So, going back to Mickey's examples, like not cleaning makes you poor, these are classic fear-punishment tactics. They hit basic anxieties about survival, about losing money or health, to push you towards an action, usually clicking, sharing, or sometimes buying something.
It's easy to look at that online stuff and think, oh, that's just those specific videos.
Yeah.
Maybe tied to one culture. But you said earlier, superstitions are everywhere. If everyone's doing weird ritualistic things, it must be filling some basic human need, right?
Absolutely. It points to a universal need for trying to manage anxiety, create order, and feel safe. When you look at superstitions around the world objectively, the surface story might be magical, but the underlying function is usually pretty practical. Psychological comfort, safety rules, or social norms.
Okay, let's compare. What are some common ones in, say, the US or the UK?
Well, take knocking on wood. It seems simple, right? You say something good, I haven't been sick all year, and you knock on wood.
Yeah, gotta hedge your bets against jinxing it.
Exactly. The origin is often linked to pagan beliefs about spirits and trees. You knock to thank or appease the spirit after bragging. But the function today, it's a tiny ritual to instantly ease that little anxiety spike you get after tempting fate. A quick psychological release valve.
Okay, that makes sense. What about breaking a mirror? 7 years bad luck.
That one goes way back to the Romans. They thought mirrors didn't just reflect your image, they held a piece of your soul. Break the mirror, damage your soul. And they believed the soul took 7 years to regenerate.
7 years? That's harsh.
It is. But think about the practical side. Back then, mirrors were incredibly expensive, made of polished metal or rare glass, and super fragile. What's a great way to make people handle fragile, valuable items carefully?
Threaten them with 7 years of terrible luck if they break it.
Bingo! It's a really effective cautionary tale wrapped in a supernatural threat.
And not walking under a ladder. I always just figured that was common sense. Don't want paint or tools falling on your head.
That's definitely the obvious safety benefit. But there's often a cultural layer, too. Historically, in Christian tradition, a ladder against a wall forms a triangle, symbolizing the Holy Trinity. Walking through it was seen as disrespectful or even blasphemous.
So you have a religious taboo reinforcing a basic safety rule. Clever.
Both point to the same action. Just walk around the ladder.
Okay, let's hop over to Asia. You mentioned Japan having some interesting ones related to etiquette and health.
Oh yeah, Japan has some brilliant examples. Like the number taboos, especially for 4 and 9.
Why those numbers?
It's purely about sound. The word for 4, shi, sounds exactly like the word for death. And the word for 9, ku, sounds like suffering.
Ah, so it's a linguistic thing that became a cultural taboo.
Exactly. And it has real-world effects. You'll often see buildings, especially hospitals, skip the 4th floor. No 4th floor, no room 4. It's like avoiding the 13th floor in some Western buildings.
And what about the ones used for teaching kids?
Those are genius. Like the rule, don't tap your rice bowl with your chopsticks. The story kids might be told is that the noise attracts hungry ghosts.
Spooky. But the real reason?
Pure etiquette training. It teaches kids table manners, eat quietly, respect your food, don't make annoying noises. A ghost story is way more effective than just saying, be polite.
Huh. That's smart parenting through superstition. What else?
Another classic is telling kids to tuck in their shirts or cover their navels during a thunderstorm.
Why?
The myth is that the thunder god, Regine, will come down and steal their belly button if it's exposed.
Seriously, steal their belly button.
Sounds wild, right? But think about a summer thunderstorm. The temperature can drop suddenly. What's the real message? It's health advice. Keep your core covered, wear your clothes properly, don't catch a chill. The thunder god story is just a very memorable way to get kids to bundle up, especially if a parent isn't right there.
Okay, Mickey, see. Sometimes these scary stories actually started out as practical advice. Keep kids warm, teach manners, don't break expensive stuff.
Right. And one last stop. Let's look at Spain. They have their own unlucky day, right?
Yeah, not Friday the 13th for them.
Nope, it's Tuesday the 13th. Tuesday is Martes in Spanish, named after Mars, the Roman god of war. So it carries that association of conflict and bad luck.
Interesting. But the really amazing Spanish example is about New Year's, isn't it?
Oh, the grapes. The tradition of eating 12 grapes at midnight on New Year's Eve, one for each chime of the clock, for luck in the coming 12 months.
It seems like such a quintessential ancient tradition when you see everyone doing it.
You'd think so. But the reality, it started around 1909.
No way. That recent.
Yep. It was basically a marketing campaign. Grape growers in one region of Spain had a massive surplus harvest that year. To get rid of the excess grapes, they cleverly marketed them as lucky grapes to eat at New Year's.
Get out. So it was just to sell more grapes.
Pretty much. It caught on like wildfire, spread across the country, and boom, a national tradition was born from a marketing slogan for surplus fruit.
That's incredible. It really shows how quickly something can become deeply ingrained as tradition or superstition if it catches on. It doesn't need to be ancient.
Not at all. So looking across all these examples, what do we see? These beliefs, these rituals, they serve real purposes. They help maintain social order and etiquette. They encode safety and health norms, even if exaggerated. And maybe most importantly, they provide psychological comfort, a way to manage anxiety and feel a bit more in control.
Okay, so we've established superstition as kind of like universal anxiety management software. But let's circle back to Mickey's specific issue. Why do elders seem particularly drawn to the online, often negative and aggressive versions of these beliefs? What's going on psychologically, especially later in life, that makes this digital stuff so sticky?
Yeah, this is where we get into the psychology of aging and also, frankly, the digital divide. It's not about intelligence, let's be clear. It's more about specific vulnerabilities and needs that can become more pronounced as people get older.
Let's start with that need for control again. Why does the illusion of control become even more important for older adults?
Well, think about what often happens with aging. There can be a gradual or sometimes sudden loss of actual control over physical health. Maybe cognitive sharpness, social roles after retirement, financial security can feel precarious.
And then there's the big one, mortality.
Exactly. Facing your own mortality is the ultimate loss of control. So in the face of all these big, scary unknowns, superstition offers these little pockets of perceived agency. A simple rule, share this video, or a ritual, wear this color, gives a feeling, even if it's an illusion, that you can do something to influence these huge, uncontrollable forces.
It's a way to push back against feeling helpless.
Precisely. It's trying to assert some level of competence and control when the world feels increasingly unpredictable.
This reminds me of those classic psychology experiments. Skinner with the pigeons.
Yes. Skinner's pigeon experiment. It's a perfect illustration. Skinner put pigeons in a box and gave them food pellets at random intervals, completely unrelated to their behavior.
But the pigeons didn't know it was random.
Yeah.
Nope.
So whatever a pigeon happened to be doing right before the food appeared, maybe turning in a circle or pecking a specific spot, it started doing that action more often, believing its action caused the food. They developed these little superstitious rituals.
Because our brains desperately want to find patterns, cause and effect, even where there isn't one.
Especially when the stakes feel high, like getting food for the pigeon or avoiding sickness or poverty for humans. We make connections. I forgot to wear my lucky socks, and then I had a bad day at work. The link might be totally spurious, but if we're anxious, we cling to it.
And for elders facing more anxieties about health in the future, that tendency gets amplified.
It really can. The need for those fixed, predictable rituals, even digital ones like forwarding a specific type of video, becomes much stronger when uncertainty feels overwhelming.
Okay, so that's the why, the need for control. What about the emotional drivers? You mentioned anxiety and loneliness earlier.
Yeah, those are huge. Anxiety about health, about declining abilities, about maybe becoming irrelevant, and the fear of death, these are often heightened later in life. The quick-fix nature of superstition offers immediate, cheap psychological comfort. It's a band-aid for deep-seated fears.
It's easier than, say, complex financial planning or difficult conversations about end-of-life care.
Much easier. And the loneliness factor is critical, especially with online content.
How do the videos themselves play into that?
Many of these videos, especially the ones targeting elders, use a very specific tone. It might be overly friendly, almost like a neighborly chat, or very serious and caring, like someone giving urgent, vital advice just for you.
Creating a sense of personal connection.
Exactly. It fosters an illusion of connection, a parasocial relationship. The person in the video feels like a trusted friend or authority figure who understands and cares. For someone feeling isolated, that can be incredibly powerful, maybe even more appealing than interacting with busy family members who might dismiss their fears.
Wow. So the video creator becomes a stand-in for real companionship.
In a way, yes. And then there's the third piece, the social and informational gap.
You mean media literacy?
Pretty much. Many older adults are digital immigrants, right? They didn't grow up with the internet, with its scams, clickbait, and misinformation. They might approach online content with the same level of trust they used to give the nightly news or the newspaper.
They don't have the built-in skepticism that younger generations might have developed.
Often, no. They might not recognize the signs of a fake website, or understand how algorithms push sensational content, or question the motives behind a video demanding shares. They see something alarming that sounds authoritative, and their instinct is to trust it and warn others.
Like those fake virus warnings or phishing emails that sometimes catch older people out?
It's the same principle. They lack the context to evaluate the source critically, and this leads to the forwarding behavior that frustrates Mickey.
So the forwarding isn't just about believing the content, it's also about staying connected.
Yeah.
Proving their worth.
Yes. Sharing this important information, whether it's a health tip or a superstition, becomes a form of social currency. It's their way of contributing, of showing they care, of protecting the family, of staying relevant in the information flow. It's an attempt to maintain their role and value, even if, ironically, the content itself causes friction.
Okay, this is all making a lot more sense. These beliefs aren't just silly ideas. They're tied to deep needs, control, comfort, connection. So the big question for Mickey and anyone else dealing with this, how do you respond? How do you address the superstition without attacking the person or making them feel stupid?
Right, because direct confrontation usually backfires spectacularly. You can't just say, that's ridiculous, or that's fake.
Why not?
Because the belief isn't really about logic for them, it's about emotion, about feeling safe. Attacking the belief feels like attacking them and their need for safety. They'll just dig in their heels and get defensive.
So rule number 1 is no direct attacks. What's the first strategy then?
Strategy 1 is guided questioning. Think of it like the Socratic method, but gentler. Instead of telling them they're wrong, you ask questions that gently encourage them to think a bit more critically about it.
Okay, like what kind of questions?
Let's take the not cleaning makes you poor example. Instead of saying, that's not how economics works, you could ask something like, that's interesting. Do you think really wealthy people spend all their time cleaning? Or do they usually hire someone? Or maybe focus on the source? Wow, that video sounds powerful. If the person who made it knows the secret to wealth, why do they seem to need people to click and share it so much? Wouldn't they just use the secret themselves?
I see. You're not attacking their belief. You're making them question the logic or the messenger behind the belief. It plants a little seed of doubt without being confrontational.
Exactly. It shifts the focus. Okay, strategy 2 is translating the superstition into a practical benefit or a scientific reason.
What do you mean by translating?
You acknowledge the action or the feeling they value, but you reframe the reason why it's good. The core idea is, the behavior might be okay, but the magical explanation is wrong. Here's the real benefit.
Give me an example for the cleaning one.
Right. Instead of magic money, you say something like, I agree that keeping the house clean feels really good. It definitely helps me think clearer and be more organized. Maybe that's the real way it helps with success, by reducing stress and helping us focus. You validate the act of cleaning, but link it to a rational outcome like improved focus, not magic poverty avoidance.
Or for the lucky red string.
You could say, I get why that red string feels comforting. While the string itself might not have power, taking a moment to touch it or think about it probably helps you feel calmer and more centered, right? And being calm definitely helps us handle things better. You affirm the goal, feeling better, being lucky, but attribute it to mindfulness or anxiety reduction, not the object's magic.
Okay, that makes sense. Validate the feeling, correct the cause. What of the deeper stuff? The loneliness, the anxiety. Logic won't fix that.
Exactly. That brings us to strategy 3. Focus on emotional connection over rational persuasion. You have to recognize that sometimes the constant forwarding or clinging to these beliefs is a symptom of deeper feelings of isolation or fear.
So arguing about the superstition misses the point entirely.
Completely. The solution isn't a better argument, it's more connection. Spend more quality time with them. Have genuine conversations about their lives, their interests, their worries, not just reacting to the latest forwarded video. Provide that real warmth and attention they might be seeking online.
And you mentioned competing for their screen time.
Yeah, you gotta play offense, not just defense. Help them find good stuff to watch. If they like videos, help them subscribe to high-quality channels, maybe documentaries about nature or history, travel shows about places they dream of, cooking channels, whatever genuinely interests them, but comes from more reputable sources. Crowd out the jump content with quality content.
Okay, connection and counter-programming. Good tips. What's the last strategy? Sounds like it's about teaching them some basic digital self-defense.
That's strategy 4. Teach simple media literacy rules. Keep it super simple. Don't lecture them about epistemology. Just give them maybe 3 easy things to look for.
3 simple checks. Like what?
First, check the source. Is this from a news organization you recognize? A university? Or is it just Master Wisdom or some random website you've never heard of? Questionable source, probably ignore.
Okay, source. What's second?
Second, check the tone. Does the video or message sound really extreme? Is it trying to shock you or scare you? Does it demand that you share it right now?
Yeah.
That high-pressure, emotional tone is a huge red flag for manipulation and fake stuff. Real information usually sounds calmer.
Got it. Source, tone, and third.
Third, check the benefit. Ask yourself, who gains from me believing or sharing this? Is someone trying to sell me something, like an amulet? Are they just trying to get clicks for ad money? Are they trying to collect my data? If the main benefit seems to be for the creator of the content, not for you, be very suspicious. Follow the money, basically.
Source, tone, benefit. It's actually pretty simple and practical. Okay, so let's put it together. If Mickey gets another one of those forwarded messages, how could he respond using these ideas?
Well, he could try focusing on the positive intent, like option A. Mom, Dad, Grandma, I know you share this stuff because you care about us and want to help, and I really appreciate that. But, you know, a lot of those videos are just made to get clicks and aren't really true. How about instead we find that great travel show you wanted to watch? I'd like to see it with you.
So acknowledge the love, gently question the source, and offer a positive alternative activity. Nice. What's another option?
Or keep it lighter. Validate the behavior but reframe it, like option B. Hey, I totally agree. Keeping things tidy makes the house feel way better. Good habit. Pretty sure getting rich still mostly depends on working hard and maybe some good luck, though. Wink. Not just the dust bunnies.
Gently humorous, validates the action, subtly corrects the magical thinking. Yeah, those sound way better than that's fake. Hashtag tag VSUN. Conclusion and final thoughts.
So when we wrap all this up, I think the key takeaway for dealing with superstition, whether it's online or offline, is that the goal should be releasing fear, not defeating foolishness.
That's a really important distinction. It's not about proving someone wrong or making them feel dumb.
Exactly. People cling to these beliefs often because they feel unsafe, anxious, lonely, or out of control. True rationality, critical thinking, that stuff thrives best when people feel secure, respected, and understood. If you just attack the belief without addressing the underlying fear, you won't get anywhere. The need for that comfort blanket, that superstition, will just remain.
That makes total sense. Address the need, not just the symptom. And thinking about needs, it makes you wonder, are we really that much more rational today? With all our science and technology.
That's the perfect provocative thought to leave everyone with. Are we just swapping old superstitions for new ones with fancier packaging?
What do you mean?
Well, think about it. Look at the almost religious devotion some people have to certain crypto projects or AI gurus promising utopian futures based on, well, often a lot of hype and speculation. Or how much we relied on algorithms, opaque, complex systems to make huge life decisions for us, from who we date to what news we see. Is that so different from consulting an oracle?
Or things like the law of attraction. Visualizing success to make it happen.
Exactly. It functions very similarly. A ritual, a belief in unseen forces you can manipulate to control outcomes. We might use different language manifesting instead of magic, algorithms instead of fate, but that fundamental human desire to find hidden patterns and exert control over uncertainty. It's still incredibly powerful. Superstition just changes its clothes. And as always on Sip and Talk, we just want to provide different perspectives and objective information for you to think about. We're not here to judge anyone's beliefs, just to analyze the phenomena and the psychology behind them. The aim is always encouraging critical, independent thinking.
Absolutely. Think for yourself, question everything, including us. Thanks so much for tuning in to Sip and Talk.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
And hey, speaking of our friend Mickey, who inspired this, you should check out his YouTube channel. It's called Mickytolife, Mickyto Life. He's got funny stuff, drinks reviews, travel vlogs from Europe. Good times.
Definitely check him out.
All right, subscribe to Sip and Talk if you haven't already, and we will catch you next time.
Bye, everyone.